Hey guys, King of Charmander is here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you the most common team in the Love Cup according to data. As you see, ytxpikachu has provided us with another charts, and this ABB team is actually the most popular team. I mean, it barely edges out the other two at 1.9%, but yeah, it's Talonflame Double Fighter, as in Medicham and Scrafty. And I can see why, because if you catch the Charmer in the lead, or if they don't have a Charmer, this team does really well against a lot of different meta combinations. Remember how I mentioned, well, if you've been watching my videos before, even though poison types are out here, the fact that there are so many mons with like psychic type charge moves, it threatens really heavily, and you'll see that in example over here with Medicham and Psychic. But yes, so and the most common team has to be ABB team, and it's Talonflame Double Fighter. So, before we get started, my mental health tip for the day. I actually knew this considering I have dealt with major depressive disorder myself. So, as being clinically depressed, one of the ways you deal with it is actually exercise. So, my mental health tip for the day is if you suffer from anxiety or episodes of depression, combat sports are actually a great thing to help lower your levels of anxiety and depression. According to an article by fitfinish.com, but this is actually in like articles as well, combat sports actually reduce anxiety and depression by releasing a high level of endorphins. When you're sparring, when you're training, you're beating the crap out of pads, your body is absolutely drained unless you have a ridiculously you're like an endurance athlete like me and your conditioning is amazing. Then what happens is that after hours of engaging or even just like one session or whatnot, or if you're wrestling, keywords wrestling, it can reduce depression as well as, again, lower anxiety. There's also a whole bunch of things, and this is all combat sports. Wrestling, Muay Thai, striking, grappling, jiu-jitsu, all of it will actually help you lower your level of anxiety and depression and help you to gain more confidence. So, of course, you can now defend yourself. Self-defense feels really empowering. That, or you compete like I do, you beat the unholy crap out of someone else, you win a gold medal. You're like, all right, cool. And it makes you feel so good about yourself that you can go ahead and go to the next level. And it also teaches you how to be very disciplined. So, yes. If you are looking for a new hobby, may it interest you in combat sports. It might not be your cup of tea right now due to Rona, but you know what? It really is that good. And they're like wrestling sports and all the other, they're starting to open up now that Rona's kind of dying off. But make sure you stay safe, adhere to the guidelines, wear a mask, and well, wear a mask. Don't wear a mask when you train, but obviously like control as many factors as you possibly can. Without further ado, here is the most common team in the Love Cup, and it happens to be an ABB team with Talonflame Double Fighter. Let's get started. Alright, so here are the battles. I thought this team would be a lot more nuts because of the fact that, yes, you're running Double Fighter, so this ABB team is really interesting. Because you're running Double Fighter, so, you know, one Charmer may equal death. But as you see here, we get death anyways, because that's a Druddigon, I don't know if I'm saying that right, versus Talonflame. This is a terrible lead for us. I don't know why the heck I have weak connection, because you know I have 11 ping, but you know, it's what it is. So, we lose the lead, we safe switch into Medicham, and then as you see here, we get a Talonflame into us. This is a lot of trouble. I don't want to eat a Brave Bird, so I'm going to shield. Even if it's a Flame Charge, that's fine. But as you see, my opponent does Brave Bird, and I like the sacrifice play. However, this time, I'm going to bait with Power Up Punch. This should prompt the shield because my opponent does not want to lose a whole Talonflame, even though he just burped. And as you see here, we managed to grab the bait, which is great. We got the shield. Now I'm going to fire Psychic this time. Actually, no, I'm going to bait again because my idea is like, okay, you know what? Maybe they'll think it's another Psychic or we'll get both shields. Or even if this doesn't land, I can possibly just farm down for the W. They don't call the bait this time, which is okay. All I'm going to do is commit a shield. And as you see, I'm just beating the unholy heck out of this burp. My goal is to win back Switch because Scrafty could possibly come back with a win con against Druddigon anyways. As you see, this Talonflame does burb, which is great because now that you're -4, I should be able to farm down. Now we're going to get another Pokemon, and it is a freaking... Is that Ariados? Yes. So because it's Ariados, I will Psychic, and this should prompt the shield from my opponent. Now, with shields down, I can choose to switch into Talonflame. Actually, that is not an Ariados. It is an actual Slowbro. So that's the G Slowbro. And as you see here, I'm going to stay in now. I'm going to let this Druddigon blow all its energy. It has to throw because it doesn't want me to fire a power punch. And I'm already revved up like +3. So they don't want me to go. They don't want to lose this whole dragon. And Go Battle Leg is in fact taking my soul right now. And I don't know why. Niantic, you have Worlds coming soon. Why is this still a thing? And I don't know. You want to know why? Yeah, I still don't know. I don't know, guys. I really don't. But at this point, it's pretty much GG. All I'm going to do is send in Scrafty and Power Punch to victory. Druddigon, I think that its name. I'm so uncultured. Druddigon. Okay, you know what? You can roast me in the comments. They're like, King of Charmanders. What the hell, man? Hey, I don't know, okay? I didn't play Sword and Shield enough to know what the heck this thing's name is. And it was like, well, yeah. Druddigon. I think it's Druddigon. If it's wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But as you see here, we get the Galar and Slowbro. All I really have to do is farm this thing down. There's no way G Slowbro, even if they KO my Scrafty here, that any charge move this thing has, unless somehow it has Hydro Pump, will KO my Talonflame in the back at full HP. So as you see there, even though we lost the lead, we came back with the W. So I was like, I'm very intrigued. So as long as you avoid the Charmer, this team could possibly come out with some win cons. Even if you lose the lead, as you see here, we got that was a pretty comfortable win. And I was actually like, wow, this thing actually worked. And I had a little bit of fun. We got a fellow Legend on Legend action. As you see, we got Talonflame. Well, pretty much all you're facing at this point is Legends. And we win the lead. We get Talonflame into Medicham XL. So our giant flaming KFC chicken burb is going to have to find... I'm expecting him to switch, but I'm going to fire anyways. As you see here, I fire the flame charge and they catch it on their Lickitung, which is great for us because we got double fighter in the back. So all you got to do when you see the big, thick, pink Lickitung with a really thick butt, it does have a giant booty, in fact. I don't look, but if you look, those thighs don't lie. So just to make up for that lost energy, firing that flame charge on this Lickitung, all I'm going to do is get 2 incinerates and queue up a flame charge. Then we're going to send in Scrafty. I can comfortably body slams. I resist Lick. We're vibing pretty hard right now. I'm going to beat the unholy crap out of this freaking Lickitung. We're just going to keep boxing. We're going to keep going left, right, left, right, left, right. And we're trying our best to just farm this thing down with my... This Scrafty is actually really crappy. This thing's IVs are absolute doo-doo. And it's okay because all we're going to do here is we're going to try to punch you down. And as you see, we managed to beat down the Lickitung. We should expect to see that Medicham coming back in, and here it does. But because I'm revved up, they're going to have to be prompted to shield, because even though Foul Play only does neutral damage, it's still going to do a ton. And as you see here, it does a ton of damage. They don't shield the first one, but they're going to have to shield this one, because unless you want to go down 2 shields with 2 whole Pokemon, that's totally up to you. So, as you see here, very likely going to shield, unless Go Battle Like takes my soul. And they still don't shield. And my brain's like, what? So I send in Talonflame to fire 1 shot, and they switch out into a Alomomola. Terrible, right? You're like, King of Charmanders, why the hell did you do that? It's okay. It's all good. Medicham is almost dead. I still have Scrafty. Remember, if you've been watching my videos, you already know that we got really strong win cons against Alomomola if you have fighters. Fighters beat Alomomola pretty comfortably just because Power Punch allows you to rev up, unless you have a decent amount of chip already. As you see, we're able to break both shields too. I'm able to get a flame charge, and I'm able to burb to take out both shields. Now all we're gonna do is we're just gonna go left and right, and we're gonna freaking Fist of the North Star this freaking fish with 2 shields. At this point, it doesn't really matter. All I have to do is straight power up punch. I should be able to rev up my Medicham enough to be able to counter down their Medicham in the back, and this should theoretically be GG's. In case something happens, I have a second Scrafty. So we got multiple win conditions. So unless I royally screw up my win con, which I'm hoping doesn't happen, I should be perfectly fine. Actually, you know what? Because Go Battle Leg is still a thing, you can always royally screw up your win cons. Not by choice and not by consent. It's not like we ever consent to Go Battle Leg. It just happens, you know what I mean? You don't have a choice. It's what it is. So as you see, Power Punch is going through, and we're just going to keep punching it down. You know, we're going to hit it with the left, hit it with the right, like Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Anyways, did y'all watch the new Attack on Titan episode? Because, my God, when you saw Eren, like, or no, it was, what's called, Eren's dad, like, Grisha punched the crap out of that Founding Town. I'm like, how are you that, well, the Founding Town is strong, but how the heck is, like, whatchamacallit, that one chick, how is that Titan so weak? So, I'm pretty sure y'all have caught up already. It's been 3 days since Attack on Titan, new episode's been out, so hopefully I'm spoiling anything for you. Our opponent tries to be fancy, switch out, but like I mentioned, all we're gonna do is just punch down, because we're literally so revved up that counter is so OP. Overall, that's GG's. Very comfortable win con right there. All we have to do is keep on punching. Hit him with the left, hit him with the right. If you watched Rocky 6, it's like, well, no, Rocky 5. Well, the final Rocky movie is one of my favorite movies. So if y'all like the Rocky movies, I like the Rocky movies too. We get legend on legend action. This person has the M pose. They are fighting Medicham into Talonflame. We've seen this episode before. It was actually the last episode of Dragon Ball Z. Well, no, this is Go Battle League. So, I mean, I could say that because unlike Disney, Disney will try to sue you for copyright for the most part. But you know what? We're not talking about that franchise, so it's okay. As you see here, we get an Electrode into our Scrafty. All we're going to do is pop our way to victory. I want to avoid getting beamed. I am very well versed in the art of beaming. So, good sir, I'm pretty sure you are either one trying to build to a beam and baiting me, but you know I'm a shield anyways because I'm going to respect the beam. One beam will in fact KO a Scrafty at this range. For most of you that are promoting foul play, in this situation, guess what resist foul play? Actually, double resist foul play. It's Scrafty. And Hyper Beam, in fact, will KO. And if I didn't shield the Hyper Beam, I would have died. But as you see, we're just going to be able to punch down. That's perfectly fine. This should be a discharge, considering they blew all their energy at, like, I believe the 4th or 5th interval. But, like, it's okay. They shouldn't have enough energy for Hyper Beam. I can take back Switch. Well, Wind Switch. And then, even though they come out with shield advantage, we got a Medicham and something else in the back. So, my brain is kind of like, what you got? And we happen to get the Medicham coming in as expected. We still have a whole Talonflame. We also have Medicham. And what comes in is a Mad Cargo, which is great because you know why? We got Medicham for Mad Cargo. All I'm going to do is rev up and beat the unholy crap out of this poor slug. Not only that, this Mad Cargo is running Rock Throw. So because you're running Rock Throw, that means one, I resist these Rock Throws because I'm a fighting type. And at the same time, yes, you can overheat me, but my Medicham is going to get so much farm. It's going to be so revved up. It's this is like game. Yes, you're going to have 2 shields for your Medicham, but essentially what I can do here is just beat the unholy hell out of that Medicham in the back with my Medicham and a whole Talonflame. So, all we're going to do is build up to a Psychic, and I'm going to attempt to bait out my opponent. I could go straight Psychic at this point and break both shields, but like I mentioned, you could just beat the unholy crap out of it, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to rev up Power Punch. We're going to pop, 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 and as you see here, our opponent is prompted to shield anyways because we are so revved up. This time, though, I will fire the Psychic, because all I have to do here is fire the Psychic, get the last shield, send in Talonflame, and Brave Bird for the victory. We're going to hit the 1-2. We're going to hit the 1, and then the 2 will be the combo breaker. I send in the Burb. I fire the Brave Bird, and here you go. We go for, let them go first. But because this Psychic isn't going to be revved up, it's perfectly fine, and we should be able to take it out with Brave Bird. Psychic goes through. It's okay. We're still in the red. Like I mentioned, unless it's powered up, one Psychic will not kill a Talonflame in the green. Now all we got to do is hit them with the Suburban, and then, as you see here, we cause a collision, and your insurance bill will be calling you at the next Pokemon Center. I haven't watched the Pokemon series in a long time, so I don't know how the hell I remember the Pokemon Center even exists. You know, all we do is just drug up all our Pokemon in Pokemon Go, because we just give them max revives and potions. We don't ever take them to the Pokemon Center. Do you know how many Pokecoins you can charge for the Pokemon Center visit, man? You could have monetized that. Okay, you know, I'm not going to give them any ideas. Don't monetize. Please don't monetize healing your Pokemon. It's a way of life, okay? If you want us to play Pokemon, our Pokemon need to live. We got Ariados into a Talonflame, and our Talonflame wins this pretty hard, so we got to switch out. And as you see here, we got Lickitung, and as you see here, we got Scrafty for this Lickitung. We don't have to shield anything. We could rev up with Power Punch. We are vibing super hard right now. We are chilling. Not chilling like those of you in the East, though, because you know what I mean? The weather advisory has been very, very cold lately. King of Charmanders does not, in fact, I don't mind the cold unless it's by choice. For example, I'm going snowboarding or something like that. All right, cool. I just made a pun without even knowing it. But you know what? Yes. So it's like a Tahoe. If I'm snowboarding or skiing, that's perfectly fine. But you know what? If a storm is coming to make me shovel snow for no reason, just to clear the road so I can drive, I do not want to be a part of it. So that's my story. Anyways, as you see here, now that we're finally done with episode, finally beat the crap out of the freaking Lickitung, all we're going to do is we are going to fire these foul plays at whatever comes in the back. And as you see, Ariados comes in. We're going to fire these foul plays. I got Talonflame to the Ariados, so wonder what my opponent's back row is. For some odd reason, I haven't seen a single Charmer during this time I've been using this team, which is, I don't know if I'm not complaining about that at all. Essentially, this team does fall to a Charmer in the back, but because of the Rise of Fire, as you see, I haven't seen a lot of them. All we're going to do is send the bird against the Itsy Bitty Spider, and then we get a Lomomola. And again, if you've been watching my content, y'all already know fighters are very strong against a Lomomola, and all we're going to do is Power Punch for the W. Ariados can come back in, do whatever the heck it wants, but we still got Talonflame, and I can burn you down. Burn it down like Seth Rollins. I know I use that reference a lot, but you know what? Joker Seth Rollins is making me really sad. I don't know what I prefer more. The Messenger, the Kingslayer, I don't know. You know what? Seth Rollins has had more gimmicks than Becky Lynch coming back and saying, I'm the man, like 15 times. No, seriously. Becky Lynch is so overrated. Like, I'm like, if you are a WWE fan, and you agree with me that Becky Lynch is overrated, because literally the only screen time she got was bleeding with, because it wasn't even on purpose. It was like an accidental elbow, and then she got overhyped. I'm like, bruh, like, yo, like, the women's division is very stale right now. And maybe that's because Britt Baker is in AEW, and like literally AEW has like all the top women's talent, and WWE can only recycle Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda Rousey, which is kind of glad she's back. But even then, like, she's not a well, she's okay, but she's not a fantastic wrestler. She just has the hypey behind her. And as you see, we're finally done with King of Charmers talking about WWE and pro wrestling. But if you are a fan of pro wrestling, we could be best friends. As you see, we beat the unholy crap out of stupid fish. We're gonna fire the psychic, and all I have to do is send in my talon flame and roast this poor spider. Charlotte's Web was a great movie. Many of you probably haven't seen it because it's really old. However, this is for science. I do not believe this KOs, and I don't know why I just didn't put my keys in the ignition and send them the Suburban to KO and run over this freaking bug. But they're gonna quit out anyways because it's pretty much GG's. As you see here, we get the dub, and that's GG's. And like I mentioned, like this, if you don't see a Charmer, this team is nuts. I'm like, dang. This ABB team's pretty nutty. I'm surprised to see how it's so common. But, well, it's the most common technically at 1.9, but like, I'm like, dang. So we got Legend on Legend action again. So we got Talonflame on a Slowbro. We lose this lead hard as heck. And you're gonna see just how much this game pisses me off because, well, it doesn't piss me off per se because I battle with Absolute Zen, but you're gonna see what I mean. So if you get Talonflame and Slowbro, generally what I will do is I will break a shield with Brave Bird. Get the Brave Bird, break a shield, swap out. That's a game plan. That's if the game decides to work. So we are going to take a shield, and then we're gonna send in Scrafty. Hopefully they don't have a Charmer, and they send in a Talonflame, which is perfectly fine. All I'm gonna do is time my shots right for my counters, and then I'm gonna foul play for the dub. We should be able to win back switch here. Talonflame versus Scrafty isn't a super bad matchup, especially if the fact that we have 2 shields still, and we have shield advantage. So as you see, I'm just going to beat the holy crap out of this. I'm going to let them fire because this might be a bird. If it's a Brave Bird, I can foul play. If not, that's okay. We're going to shield here, and it happens to be a flame charge, but that's okay. We don't want to eat a flame charge. We want to win back switch, and we want to keep Slowbro on to anything but our Talonflame. But you remember what I was talking about Go Battle Lag, with us not giving consent to Go Battle Lag? You're going to see exactly how annoying this game is. So I'm going to shield this one. This is probably a Brave Bird, and then I'm going to farm down. So we keep punching. I'm going to keep punching. I'm going to keep punching. Flame charge goes through. That's perfectly fine. We should be able to counter down because I'm revved up. Or I'm not revved up, but then this thing doesn't have any energy. Now watch what happens. So I am trying. You see me firing foul play, right? How does a Slowbro win CMP against a Scrafty? Mind you, I have a really crappy Scrafty. So I was like, what the? What? What? So I'm pissed off right now because I'm like, there's no way. Wait, hold on. Let me check right now. But I'm pretty sure a Scrafty does not lose okay, there's Scrafty. Where's Slowbro? Okay, I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. Scrafty loses CMP against a Slowbro. But what if you have really high IVs? Because my IVs are crap. No, hold on. What if you have like 10 attack? Yeah, it's IV bro. Well, it's IV dependent. The one time when IVs matter. So that means they're yeah. My Scrafty has a really crappy whatever. As you see here, we still managed to come back with a dub. All we're gonna do is Brave Bird down right here, and then I should be able to just roast that freaking Slowbro in the back for the W. But still, I am very, very upset. I was like, are you freaking serious? My Scrafty is like, has crap IVs, and it has 13 attack. So that means that Slowbro had to have like a 9 attack IV, or CMP just never registered for me. Anyways, the world may never know, because I still came out with the dub because the King of Charmanders is freaking amazing, and that's GG's. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. You know, this team is really good. If you don't find a Charmer, or if you catch it in a Talonflame, it could do really well for you. So, I'm actually, yeah, it's good. So, give it a shot. Again, if you're really used to, like, even you saw here, I still lost leads against things like Druddigon, etc. But Double Fighter is just really strong because of the fact you're able to rev up with Power Punch. If you're really good at baiting, etc., like me, or just like situations, or like reading situations, like you saw, there was a lot of like really high IQ plays that I did here. So if you're confident in those abilities, not like some people where you see them shoutcast their content and they're like, yeah, but we're gonna do so, yeah, and then, like, you know, if you say if, ems, or buts a lot, you probably shouldn't be shoutcasting matches. It should be clear and concise. Just say it. But, yeah. It's what it is. Anyways, would you guys do me a huge favor? You see these two little lizards right here? You see that little sub box at the bottom right? You can easily subscribe if you put your mouse over it over there. Like and subscribing is totally free, and I really appreciate my current subscribers. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.
Ciao!